Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make a Google Classroom for your students. Now there's no reason at all to use Google Classroom except for one feature. So if you don't want to use it, I would suggest you don't bother with it, because there's really nothing else in Google Classroom that's worthwhile compared to PowerSchool Learning. Right, but Google Classroom does do one thing that might be worth using it for your Dropbox for your assignments. Okay? So let me show you how to do that. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a split screen so that you can watch and do it along with me. All right, so what you're going to go to is you're going to go to the Chrome Web Store. So type in Chrome Web Store. You are going to go to extensions, and you are going to type in split screen. And a whole bunch of things are going to come up. I would suggest you use the tab for, or the extension, which is tab resize split screen layouts. So you're going to add that, and it's going to show up with this icon right up at the top. And the nice thing about this is when you click it, you have the opportunity to create a split screen, which means on one side you can watch a video like the one I sent you, and on this side you can kind of follow along so that you're not constantly jumping back and forth, because it's really annoying. All right, so let's get rid of this. Okay, and go back to this and make it full screen. So let's go to Google Classroom and create a classroom. So let me get out of this email and go to my school one. Right, you can't create Google Classrooms unless, right, you have a school Google account. So you can only do it on your school account. Why you'd want to create a classroom otherwise, I have no idea. All right, so you're going to go into your Google Apps. So if you don't know where those are, there's this whole bunch of little boxes up on the top of your Gmail. If you click on it, it opens up to your apps. So you're going to do More and Classrooms right here. All right, so you're going to sign in. Sign out, because it still thinks I'm this other person. So you can't have an account unless you're using your school account. So there's my school account. All right, then you just can create a class. So create a class. And I'm going to call this class. In your section, I would give the period number, and then that's it. All right, so it's creating a class. Boom. So it defaults with an obnoxious pattern generally, but you can change that by selecting a theme. And you have lots of themes. So if I'm like really into watching somebody play the guitar, that's my theme. So that's my class theme. Somebody playing a guitar. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to add students into your class at some point in time. And you do that by clicking the student button, and you have a class code, a join code. So you can have students. Sorry, it just bumped me out for no apparent reason. Sign back in. All right, there we go. Okay, so you're in your Google class, and you are going to invite students, and here's your class code. You can invite them in by emailing them, but it's just so much simpler to just have your code and just give them the code and have them set up, go into Google Classroom. So they're going to look up Google Class, and they're going to go in through their student account with this code. All right, so when you want to make an assignment, The assignments are in the stream. My suggestion is you number every assignment and you label every assignment. So I'm just going to make an assignment. All right, 1 assignment. No due date, assign. All right, so here's your assignment. Now, you have some options with your assignment. All right, you have the opportunity, let's go to edit the assignment. You have the opportunity to add a Google Doc or to attach a file. Now, when you attach a file or a Google Doc into your assignment, it gives you the option to make a copy for every single one of your students. All right, I'll explain why this is important in just a second. You also have the option of copying the link of your assignment, so you can take that link and put it into your Haiku calendar as a link, so that when they're in your normal Haiku calendar, you can link directly to your assignment. All right, and I'll show you how I do it with mine. All right, so what's going to happen on the student end is that students are going to have a Google Class folder now, and in that is going to be a folder for your class. Now, why this is important is that students can't lose their assignments now. And it's not annoying for them to go back in and find their homework. So if they're using the normal PowerSchool Learning homework Dropbox, they got to go back into the Dropbox and find their homework. When they do it through Google Class, what'll happen is when they submit their homework, it'll show up in their Google folder. So you'll get a copy and they'll get a copy. Right? And they'll always be able to go into that folder and find their copies. This is why I would suggest you number your assignments and also give it a title. All right, so that, you know, if you tell kids that they should be pulling up assignments, you know what to tell them, and then it organizes it better. All right, so what you can then do is, let me go to my Haiku class, or PowerSchool Learning class as it's called now. So if I'm going to go to World History, and I go to my calendar, right, and I go to paragraph explaining human rights. So if I click on that, right, it shows up as homework, and voila, the kids are here. So on their side, they'll have the opportunity to hand in homework. So let me show you what it looks like on their side by going into a class that I'm in. So let me go to my classes. So I'm in for the PPDP. And if you're in this, you'll know that you've seen this. So you can open up, right? And it gives you the opportunity, and this is what your kids will see. It gives you the opportunity to create a document, and that's what you're going to do. All right, you tell your kids, just create a document, right, and type their homework in, and submit it. Plus, if they decide they're going to get the split screen extension, they can split their screen and read your questions and type them up on the other side. All right, and then they can submit when they're all done. All right, so that's the basics of using Google Classroom. I would not suggest using Google Classroom for anything except for a homework Dropbox. All right, PowerSchool Learning is much better at everything else. All right, so that's that.